Greetings, Indie Warriors! Welcome back to I Dream of Indie. This is Ole Gamer Joe here with another review for you today. If it's your first time here at the channel, welcome, and consider hitting that subscribe button below for tons of great indie reviews and previews. Today we are reviewing Jet Kave Adventure on the Steam PC platform. This 2D precision platformer was developed and published by 7 Levels and is also available on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series S and X, as well as the One. The Steam pricing was not available at the time of this review, but the Switch version is normally priced at $19.99 and the Xbox version $14.99. In this prehistoric platformer, you'll take control of Kave, ruler of his tribe, or should I say former ruler, as Kave finds himself being kicked out by his own folks. Embattled and embarrassed, Kave sets out on a quest to regain trust and friendship when suddenly he comes across a futuristic robot that has crash-landed on Earth. This robot then snatches a gem of sorts, which seems to be of great importance, and Kave comes to discover a jetpack that will serve as one of the bigger gameplay elements across the 36 different levels that you'll be challenged by. Featuring characters from different worlds entirely, this game uses a comic book-like thought bubble process in order to convey its emotions. Certain characters will have these bubbles appear above their heads, and it will show a cute little simple image to get the point across. It works to surprising effect. As far as how this game actually plays, Kave can perform a few different actions to get through these 2.5D levels. He'll need to rely on his club for close combat situations, jumping and wall jumping, which yes, there is plenty of platforming to be done as you might have suspected, and for pesky enemies that might be out of reach, Kave can hurl rocks towards them. These rocks are also used at times to open up flowers, which you guessed it, can be jumped on top of. Eventually though, you will gain access to that jetpack I previously mentioned, which adds a fun element to the game that complements the level design quite well. With that jetpack, Kave can hover through the air for a short duration of time, and not only will this help you to avoid certain enemies, but it'll also allow you to reach otherwise unreachable destinations. You'll also need to blast through rock walls at certain points throughout the adventure, which isn't too difficult as you have the ability to stop time for a brief moment with the right trigger. From there, you can aim off into a direction of your choosing, as this will create a short burst that can play into the platforming elements of the game as well. Each level is full of prehistoric enemies and traps, as you might expect, that will try to slow your progress, as well as seashells which you can collect. These shells can then be spent on upgrades in between levels, such as making your club longer or adding more hit points so that Kave can take additional hits of damage. These upgrades will make your first playthrough all the easier, as Jet Kave Adventure, at least on your first trip, won't really offer all that much of a challenge. Checkpoints are generally easy to come across, and the 30 different enemy types typically don't pose all that much of a threat. As you might expect across the 4 different worlds, each one ends in a boss encounter, and these are also not really all that challenging, to be honest with you, but fear not, there is an arcade mode that you can eventually unlock, which takes away many of the advantages that your first playthrough offers. That includes infinite lives and checkpoints that replenish all of your health meter. Each level also features little sub-challenges like getting a better time, and also a collectible hidden statue that you might have to explore off the beaten path a bit in order to find. The biggest surprise of Jet Kave Adventure is honestly how precise it truly feels. Getting around on your jetpack is a blast, and jumping and attacking are extremely smooth and responsive. I didn't notice any real lag, which is of course important in a platformer, and while yes, that initial playthrough didn't really supply a massive challenge, I think part of that was due to the excellent controls. So good on the developer here, they clearly know how to make a great feeling platformer. I also really liked how the game would switch things up from time to time, like tossing a classic Crash Bandicoot-esque chase scene your way, or a top-down scrolling section where you're dodging and weaving your way through perilous situations, but the game does run out of steam a bit in gameplay variety towards the end. For the most part, however, I think this was a fun and responsive platformer. In a way, it reminded me of the Donkey Kong Country series. In terms of graphics, I thought that Jet Kave Adventure looked pretty nice at times. There are some colorful prehistoric islands to explore, darker, rainier scenes, and of course lava caves. There is a decent variety to the look of each level, and I thought the game did a pretty good job of mixing up enemy types, though the enemies themselves can honestly look a little bit boring and uninspired. Still, generally speaking, it's bright, cute, colorful, and mostly animates pretty well as well. I did catch a few low-res textures here or there, but the PC version ran buttery smooth, even maxed out at 4K resolution on my rig. I can't recall a single technical hiccup throughout the 5 hours or so that I played through, so overall, it's not a bad-looking game. The solid graphical presentation is accompanied by an eclectic soundtrack that features some melodic ukulele, some great percussion including steel drums, and some decent overall sound effects including the screeching of certain dinosaurs and satisfying clanks as you bash your club into different objects. I ended up digging the presentation in general on this one. Nothing mind-blowing, mind you, but a simplistic yet effective art design with an enjoyable soundtrack. I honestly had way more fun with Jet Kave Adventure than I was expecting to. The responsive controls and some clever platforming involving the jetpack make for a nice combination. Yes, it does reach back into the hat for the same trick on more than one occasion, but at 5 hours of gameplay, not even factoring the arcade mode and collectibles, I think this game offers up pretty good value. Despite the game's thematic tone, Jet Kave Adventure doesn't play or look like it's from the Stone Age at all, so if you're a fan of 2D platformers and enjoyed games in the past like Joe and Mac, Donkey Kong Country, or dare I say the legendary Chuck Rock, I think you'll have a connection here. I can feel it in my bones. Thanks for watching our latest review of Jet Kave Adventure, indie game fans. We hope that you enjoyed it. Consider using our affiliate links if you want to purchase any of the games that have been shown here on our channel. And we also have a ton of ways that you can support I Dream of Indie right down in our description box, including our merchandise store. You can become a member here on the channel or check out a bunch of the other ways to support us. But however you end up doing so, it means the world, even if you just hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, and we'll see you for the next review.